I did it. I watched all of them. And yes, it cost everything.
I'm gonna need a bigger chainsaw.
So yeah, Finn is chasing down the dinosaur that's got his robot wife's head in a bag, and he has to catch it so that he can get the head back so that he can stop the first Sharknado, so that then he can stop all the future Sharknadoes from ever becoming a world-ending threat. Also, he's joined by all these people who his son saved, but his son's not really in this one because Dolph Lundgren just didn't want to do that shit. You know, I'll make this one comparison to Avengers Endgame and this one only. You do need to have watched all of the franchise up to this point and to have fully bought in to have any idea what's going on. The Last Sharknado, It's About Time, is an aptly named final chapter in the Sharknado series. See, it's funny because it's about time for the last entry, and this entry is about time. Get it? Oh my goodness, it's truly something. Anyway, so Finn stops the first ever Sharknado in prehistoric times because, yeah, just anyway. And then he's got to go through this time thing that brings him to different periods of time, eventually leading to the present. Eventually. And I gotta say, that you know what? I'll make one more comparison to Avengers Endgame. Because it's long for a Marvel movie, but gets away with it. This one is only 85 minutes. So it's the same length, really, as most of the other Sharknado films. But it manages to feel as long as Avengers Endgame was, yeah. So they go to Camelot, the Revolutionary War, Wild Wild West, 1997. What? Okay, yeah. Fortunately, they have had a lot of cameos in this franchise. You could say it's the main thing this franchise is known for, apart from sharks and tornadoes. But they really saved the best ones for last. I'm talking Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, I'm talking Ianziering's kids. I'm talking the runner-up from the 5th season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah. This franchise has exhausted everything. All of the people who are interested in just randomly appearing in it. All of the, I don't know, story ideas that made even a thimbleful of sense. Like, it's just got nothing left to give. And this one was really indicative of the fact that they are so done. One of the worst things about this is that, I don't know, they kept getting bigger and bigger. You know, the Sharknadoes got bigger and bigger and more devastating as the sequels went on. So you expect, something massive in this one. And we just don't get that. They are all very regular-ass Sharknadoes in this one. Just regular, small, easily defeated Sharknadoes throughout time. And then the big final one is a Time-nado, and that was one of the worst final scenes in cinema history. Finn also proves that he is just a absolute sexist, because Nova wants to leave a note for her grandfather during the American Revolution so that he won't die on a fishing trip in 200 years. Weird idea, but alright. And he stops her, because he's like, we can't change the past. And then not 3 minutes later, his bro is like, you know what, I just want to stay in the Revolutionary War forever. I'm just going to live here. And Finn's like, alright. But then he does blame himself for Nova making the dumbest mistake that anyone has ever made, 20 minutes later. I just don't like any of these characters. And of course, this one also, it is just kind of 1000% what you think it's going to be, except for the Planet of the Aprils. That was... I think you get what you paid for with this franchise as a whole, you know? I don't think this is maybe the worst entry, but only because the 5th one was just so atrocious. I think that one really bore the brunt of introducing the most ridiculous elements you were going to get. So by the time it came around to this one and they just blatantly stole all of the time travel elements from Back to the Future, I went... When they introduced a Robot April leading an army of Robot Aprils in the year 20,000 and robot sharks, I was like, yeah... Alright, I am deadened at this point to the horrors of this series. It's just, I've got nothing left. I can't bring myself to rise and go, oh, this was stupid, oh no, this was so stupid. It's just yeah. If you were still watching by this one, you deserve to have to witness this, really, right? So, I'm giving Sharknado 1 star. So officially, I think I've got Sharknado 5 at the bottom, then this one, then 6, then the 4th, then probably actually the first one, then the 2nd, then the 3rd. I think the 3rd was still, I think that one just was prime. Let's stop here. We've reached the peak of ridiculousness where it's still almost kind of funny. And then it just went really downhill after that. Subscribe for more truths.